Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Puseles. I think we can start with the agenda of today. I've displayed the agenda. The meeting, it's from 9 until 12:30. As you can see, the first one then will be the welcome remarks by the SAHPRA representative. In this case, it's Dr. Dimakadzo Matibe, the Senior Manager for Medical Devices and Radiation Control. Over to you, Dr. Dimakadzo.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much, Puselitso. Colleagues, thank you very much for joining us today. This is one of the engagement that we want to do with the industry at large regarding various topics, and I think I will allow Puselitso. I think you've seen the agenda on the memo that was published, indicating the intention of today's meeting is part of one of the engagement, as I indicated, that we will have with the industry discussing various topics. So I just want to thank everyone for taking their time, all the colleagues from the industry as well as internally from SAHPRA, for taking your time to attend the meeting. And, the intention of the meeting is to speak compliance with the applicant, as well as learn some of the, gather information for further improvement of the work that we do as a regulator. So, during the proceedings, questions can be asked on the chat, and then we will try and respond as much as possible. And I would like to speak to, if there are questions related to specific companies, we will not be responding to the chat directly. So if you have any questions related to your company directly, please write an email to us and we'll respond, so that we respect other companies and any conflict that might arise during the meeting. So, but thank you very much again, and thanks for the colleagues for arranging this meeting for today to speak into the topics of today. We'll be talking, I think the colleagues will be talking to the renewals as well as the applications of for medical device establishment licenses, different types of activities. So thank you very much. Puselitso, I'll hand over back to you, but welcome again to all the colleagues. And I hope we have a constructive workshop or meeting with you guys, and we learn, as I indicated, from your side. We'll take some of the information you'll share with us and then relook at it and see where we can improve accordingly. Puselitso, thank you very much. And to yourself and your team, I'll hand over back to you. And also, I just want to thank our communication team for supporting us with arranging this kind of meetings or workshop with the industry. Thank you. Thanks, Puselitso.
Thanks, Dr. Dimakadzo. So according to our agenda, we should start with the first point on our agenda, which is the licensing application process, and that will be from 9:20. So since we still have about 16 minutes, and this will be time to allow other colleagues to still join, I can hand over to Ntokozo, maybe just to take the colleagues through our website. We have received some input from colleagues that is not really user-friendly, and sometimes colleagues miss information because of the navigation process of the website. So maybe Ntokozo, if you can just show the colleagues how to navigate our website, especially in relation to medical devices. Thanks, Ntokozo.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, let me just go to our website.
Ntokozo, just to confirm, so since the audio it's disabled from the colleagues, are they able to do a thumbs up just to confirm from their side if they can hear us? So.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. You can go ahead, Ntokozo.
I'll quickly share my screen.
Okay, so, I see there's a hand. I'm not sure if
there's no hand on my side.
There's no hand on. Okay, I'm seeing a hand. I'll just look at the chat in the meantime. Maybe we're just missing. Okay, so before you continue, there's a question from Sarah Cohen. Hi, will the recording for the meeting
be on the website?
It will be on the website. Okay.
Yes, we'll throw it onto the website.
Oh, and then another request from, I think this is Simone. Can the presenters please put camera on and introduce themselves? Yes, we'll do that. Okay, I'll start with myself, and Ntokozo, before I hand over to you.
Okay, cool.
It's a bit. Good morning, everyone. My name is Buselezo Mokgano. I'm the manager for licensing, vigilance, and compliance in the medical devices unit. The other colleagues will introduce themselves. Thank you. Oneho, if you can introduce yourself, followed by Yvette, Ofenze, and June, if on the call.
Morning, everyone. My name is Onya Monyeliate, and I'm the Medicine Registration Officer for the Medical Device Unit under licensing. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yvette, and I'm the Medical Device Technical Officer for Licensing and Vigilance.
Okay, I don't see, maybe Ofenze and June are still to join. We also have team members from the registration and clinical trials as part of the medical device, and that's Lydia and Kanye. If you can introduce yourself as well, please. Okay, because I think maybe the colleagues are still struggling with the connection. You can introduce yourself, take the colleagues through, then we'll introduce the other colleagues as we move along. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. My name is Ntokozo Msiza. I'm working on the communications as the web designer. Thank you. So this is just to confirm, am I navigating the website for medical devices?
Yes, please. Just to show colleagues how to get to the our tab and how to access the documents.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right, so so obviously you would go to www.sahpra.org.za. You can either go to the website via direct URL, or you can Google SAHPRA, and the first link would be the homepage of our website. And from our website, the first thing that you'll see is the rotating banner, which has a rotation of our latest news and updates. And as you scroll down, there's a section where you can search for any document that you're looking for. So how this document library works is you have all your guidelines, you've got all your forms, you've got templates, you've got communications to industry. So everything is under one search bar. You can either search for documents directly from this search bar here, or you can go to our e-library homepage, which is an index. Can you hear me?
Sorry to interrupt,
Sorry.
The colleagues are indicating that there's a background noise.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to leave another meeting. So you can go to our e-library home, which is a reference of all our documents on the website, and the document types as well are listed just below the e-library homepage here. So this is not specifically to any unit, but for all units on within SAHPRA. So if you click on e-library home, you'll find a list of all our SAHPRA related documents. So for instance, if you would look for medical devices, you click on unit and you select medical devices. And if you're looking for medical devices guidelines, you would then select guideline here. and you would find a list of all the medical devices related guidelines. You reset, and again, you go to medical devices, and then you say communication to industry. You'll get a list of all the communication to industry documents under SAHPRA. Then, if you are looking for the medical devices landing page, let me just go back to the home page, to the SAHPRA homepage. Sorry about that. Not sure why. Seems to be a delay. Not sure if is it Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, there seems to be a... Okay, there we go. So on our homepage, you go to operational units and you scroll to the fifth link here, which says medical devices. And then there are sub items as well related to medical devices from, so it's communication to industry forms, guidelines, conformity assessment bodies, license establishments, position statements, related documents, and test kits, right? But all of these links as well, you can find them on the landing page of the medical devices unit. And when you get to the medical devices unit, you'll get a short write-up of what the unit is about. And these are the short links that will redirect you to the comms to industry forms and guidelines, a little bit of information about the administration, the fees, the FAQs, how to apply for how to apply for a license for medical device establishments, the Act, and again, the same links that you would find that you found under the navigation, you would find here at the bottom. So if you're looking for test kits, you click on test kits here, and you click on the link that says test kits, and it'll redirect you to the test kits landing page. Sorry, I think my laptop is a bit slow today. Okay, and these are the test kits. So yeah, and the latest test kits that was uploaded in May 2023, and this is how they are listed. Going back again, I think a question that normally is raised, or inquiries that we received a lot, is about the medical devices establishment licenses. Click on it, you'll get a list of all the the licensed establishments. Just give it a sec. All right. The list was last updated on the 13th of December 2022. If you give it a moment or so, it's loading the list. And you can search for any company that should be on this list. Other than that, the key contacts, you click on key contacts. And you scroll down to medical devices. and this is where you'll see all the key contacts related to medical devices. So for general inquiries, this is the email address. For license inquiries, you would contact June. For COVID-19 inquiries, Kanye, and for adverse events reporting, it's Puseleto. I'll pause here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ntokozo. I don't know if you want to take questions now or wait until we get to the segment for questions, then we can take questions for.
Yes, that's okay at the end.
At the end. Okay, thank you. There's a question from Mark. If the list of companies was last updated in December 2022, how does anybody verify more recent license or renewal licenses? Okay, so if I may answer that question, currently we update the list twice a year, but obviously with this engagement, we can look at updating more often, but we can have a discussion around that. So the next update is it's supposed to happen now. So we should have the update in the next few weeks. Thank you. Dr. Dimagato, you can come in.
Thank you very much. And I think I just want to indicate the delay in the update of the system. I think everyone is aware that we're using a manual system who is on the call. So if you're looking at the number of renewals that we are receiving, that we've been working on from January, March, and April, there's a high volume. So we were working on that, cleaning up the database so that we ensure that the latest information is on the database. And we have been receiving a lot of new applications on top of that for those companies that didn't renew. So the intention is to publish the database as you indicated, at least twice a year for now. So very soon, since the last December, in a very short while, we will be publishing the next one. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Dimagato. Okay, so there is another comment, and this one is from Simone. The list should be current as per the Act.
That is noted. Thank you. Thanks, Puseleto.
Thank you. I'm noticing quite a number of hands, so maybe I don't know if we should change. I see there's a hand from. Okay, now there's one hand. The segment for question will be at 12. So we'll have 30 minutes allocated to questions and respond to those questions if that's okay with everyone. Okay, so then I think it's now 19 minutes after 9, so we can start with the first item on our agenda, which is the license application process, and Ms. Onyaho will take us through that. Onyaho, if you're ready, let me know.
Thank you, Puseleto. I'm ready. Can I share?
Yes, you may.
Let's confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see the screen. Thank you.
Morning, everyone again. The content of the information I'll be sharing has been displayed. Just move through to the next slide. The purpose of my presentation is the license application process, starting with the information that is on the Act. It states that any individual or company located in South Africa must submit an application to SAHPRA to be licensed as either manufacturer, distributor, or wholesaler of medical devices. As Ntokozo has demonstrated on the website, we have 3 application forms available on our website, with 6.21 being the license to manufacture that allows for manufacturing, import, export, and distribution. We have the license to distribute that allows for import, export, and distribution. And we have the license to wholesale that is only for wholesaling. There's a guideline on the website as well, 16.03 for license, just to guide the applicants on the processes to follow for manufacture, import, export, or distribute medical devices and IVDs. As demonstrated earlier, this is just a screenshot on how you can navigate to the medical device subunit on the guideline. The current snapshot is of the application forms that I've just spoken about on the previous slide. With regard to the application submission, for each application submitted, we require an application cover letter, quality-related documents as per product risk and application requirements. You'll notice on the different application forms that higher risk products requires certain documentation with regard to the product risk requirements. And then we have a requirement for quality manual or site master file for wholesale applications. We require an Excel spreadsheet that contains the list of products to be, the list of medical devices to be distributed by the applicant, signed PDF copy of the application, which include a declaration that the information submitted is correct and current, and the CV of the authorized representative, given the fact that some of our establishments do not hold an ISO 13485 certificate or accreditation, and we also require a proof of payment in a PDF format. We normally would receive remittance payments or a snapshot of the bank or the bank application approval. So we do request a PDF format of the POP. And then the fees payable with regard to the POP for a new manufacturer is 25,200. For a distributor, it's 15,000. And for a wholesaler, it's 15,000. And then the email can be sent to mdadmin@sahpra.org.za or mdcovid@sahpra.org.za for COVID-related applications. And then the reference documents are also on the website and have been displayed just to guide the applicants on the requirements that have been listed on the slide. With regard to renewal applications for medical device establishment licenses, the guideline for guidance is D031. It's also on the website and has recently been updated. On renewal applications, we require that no changes are made to the existing license. Changes that have to do with the personal information, the establishment address, the classification or the product class that were previously been approved, etc. The application must also be submitted at least 90 days prior to the license expiry date. And if there's any queries that we notice upon review of the application, then the observation letter will be sent to the applicant. And in the event that the application does not meet the evaluation criteria or respond to the deficiency within 10 days. And then here on is a process flow for the renewal application. And then the application is submitted, screened, and if there's no queries, the application is acknowledged. If there are queries, then the letter for deficiency is sent. It's normally called an observation letter from our side. And it states here that only 2 review opportunities are allowed. If the application, if the response is sufficient, then the application is technically reviewed or evaluated. If there's no queries, then it's tabled or recommended for approval. If there are queries also during evaluation, then the query letter for deficiencies sent. Also, there are 2 review opportunities granted to the applicant. And then once the queries have been resolved, then the renewed license is issued. On completion of the license process, a letter of notification for license approval is sent to the license holder. This is just an example of what it looks like. And then the letter will be requesting a license fee or a license collection fee of 3,400, of which a POP must be sent for the license to be issued to the applicant. We also have amendment to existing application form or amendment to existing licenses. For that, we need a new Excel application form for the manufacturer. Yes.
No, this is the next item on the amendments of our existing application forms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
May I stop here?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think maybe we can look at the chat in the meantime, because we still have some time. I just want to go back to the okay, I see. Will the presentation be available later? Yes, that will be made available. Another question, okay, I can't see the name. Last year during our renewal, the spreadsheet was restricted to editing and copying and pasting. Please, can this be changed to make it user-friendly, especially considering we're uploading large number of devices and cannot manually edit them? It's not practical and time-consuming to type each device line by line. Okay, we're working with our IT. We'll just check for those challenges as well, but currently it shouldn't be a problem, but we'll also verify with our IT. How long should it take to get the license once the payment is made? I would assume this is the payment of the license fee. So immediately when we get the proof of payment for the license fee, we share the soft copies with the applicant, and the option to collect every Wednesday between 9 and 5. You can come anytime, but outside the Wednesday collection, then you can just make an arrangement with the admin screener that you're communicating with. The next one is from Simone. SAHPRA, please explain to stakeholders that only GMDN is supplied, not a full sales product list. Also, GMDN does change numbers, so it's a moving target. Okay, I don't know if Kanye is on the call. We can assist with this one. No, I think the rights have been changed. Kanye, please confirm if you are able to unmute from your side.
Morning, Pushalata. Can I come in and support?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So one of the requirements that we've put it across and that has not changed is the GMDN code, and the GMDN code can be accessed through the GMDN code agency. And it's the responsibility of the manufacturer or the importer to check the GMDN code correctness when they submit their application. And the GMDN code comes with the application, not through the amendment. So this is one of the requirements that is set in the form, and that was set some time ago. And as the member of the MIDRF, we are still at the moment using the GMDN code. It has not changed. We are not using the EMDN code. So we will make the decision if there's any change. So at the moment, there's no change into the GMDN code, and we are using the GMDN code. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Demekas. I think this is a follow-up. This is net. GMDN codes are not used by some suppliers anymore, but only the EMDN codes. Are these accepted as well?
I think I've answered that question already by indicating that we are using the GMDN code, not the EMDN, because there are other countries that are not using EMDN. So at the moment, we are using GMDN. Thank you.
Okay, I think this is Simone again. Please also explain that only details that change on the license requires an amendment and not additions of GMDN code if the class is already specified, i.e. notification. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can help you because I'm not too sure who's on the call. I can't see. My computer doesn't allow me to see the properly who is on the call because I would have loved the technical people to support you on this. So if there's a change that affects the license as per the amendment guideline indicates that if there's a change that affects the license itself that we will issue you, then that's an amendment. But if the change doesn't affect the license that you have, it's a notification. And once we receive that notification, a communication will be shared, and we need to also present that notification internally so we have records of it. Thank you.
Okay. I also actually wanted to share, we do have a document on the website. It's called Question and Answers Licensing of Medical Devices. So all those will also be included on the document. Thank you, Dr. Demekas. Okay.
Thank you. And I see another one on the declaration not used. So we are looking at, I think the colleagues are aware now that we are an affiliate of MIDRF, and we are looking into other, and we've discussed this internally as well as with our MDC committee members, expert committee, as well as with looking at what's happening internationally. With regards of adding, I'm just going, I need to go back to that question that I saw. Why is the number of details from the declaration of conformity not used? That I'm not too sure I understand that question. Actually, before I answer, why is the number of details from the declaration of conformity not used so that there is alignment? I'm not too sure I understand that question. So perhaps, Simone, can you elaborate on your question? All right. I think you can, maybe you can advise me on which one you want my support, facilitator. I think there's another one because I'm not too sure how to respond to that one. I don't understand it. Maybe if you are maybe clear, I don't understand it from my side.
Yeah, okay, maybe somebody can clarify, but the next question is if payment for changes or amendments have been made, but as part of the renew process, we have had to roll back to original. Okay, yeah. Does okay, I think the last part it makes sense. Does the amendment payment remain as a credit with SAHPRA? Okay, so I think it's in case where there's an overpayment, what happens to the credit? Maybe if I'm getting it well, that's from Michael. So with every payment you made, whether it's underpayment or an overpayment, you'll get something called an observation letter that you have to explain what the payment is for. So if you've paid and you've overpaid, you'll have to just explain that I've paid this much, and then the credit can be used for a license or it can be used for retention fees. So you always get that letter, the observation letter or query letter, for you to explain what the credit can be used for in the future.
Yeah, if I may come in as well, I think everyone knows the email for finance, our finance general. If you have paid more money, then you can directly speak to our finance. We can share the email, the general email, I'll put it on the chat now, and indicate to them that you have paid more. They will indicate to you what documents they want for. They will want, for example, your CPRO information, your ID, the details of the refund that you want. So you will show them proof of payment that you have done. And then what they will do is that they will compile your document and send it to the unit for us to confirm if they can refund you, and they will refund you. So I'll put on the chat now the email that you need to speak to our finance requesting refund if you have overpaid. Thank you.
Thank Thank you, Dr. Dimagat. I think Simone would like to elaborate, and because are you able to unmute? So, Simone, can
No,
elaborate.
I think no.
Can we move to?
No, I think we'll do the chat and we'll find out from Tokos, because then we will. I don't think we, unless you have you are finished with all the presentation for the day.
No, we're not. We still have an.
Yeah. Okay, so I think let's go back to the chat.
Okay. Sorry, I see Kanye has responded to some questions. So the next question: when a license is amended and payment is made for an issue, why is the new date not used for the 5-year renewal? When a license is amended and payment is made for an issue, why is the new date not used for the 5-year renewal?
Oh, I think I understand the question. Perhaps I'll put it for you. So the issue date, from my understanding, from your reading, the issue date, let's say it's 19 June 2023, for argument's sake. And then the expiry date of the license is 19 June 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So the question is, when they are doing an amendment, and then they have done the amendment in 27 August 2024, why is their expiry date not changing? That's the question. Don't know if you want to tackle that one. I think the expiry date does not shift with an amendment. You're amending the license that is existing. So then the amendment, you're amending information on the license, but not the validity timeline as per the regulations that indicates that your license is valid for 5 years. Thank you. That means then it will never stop being valid. Thank you, Ms. Back to you.
Okay, from most of the question, I think Kanye has responded to. Okay, the last question that just came in is from Robin. If your license is renewed after 5 years, do you need to pay the annual retention fee for the renewal year? There seems to be some confusion. Thank you. SAHPRA Finance said it is not necessarily currently confirmed.
Okay. I think I'll tackle that one as well. And I think this one, when we're doing the financial side, I would prefer our finance to be here, but I'll try and explain it from the explanation. So if you look at the communication that was published, and if you're looking at the regulations and based on the communication, if you have received your license until December of 2022, and then we come to June, because you have to pay by June of the following year that you have received your license. If you have received your license by December 31st, by end of December 31st, you need to pay your first retention fee on this financial year. And then furthermore, based on the communication, because you have to pay your retention fee for the period of duration of, so if you received your license June, it has to be June 2024, it's year 1, 2023, 24, sorry, I'm writing down, 25 is 2, 26 is 3, 21, 2, 3, 4, 27 is 4, and then on the year of your renewal as well. So based on the communication, that year you also pay because it's annual retention fee. So that's the explanation. And now that's why I'm saying this one will need further explanation from our finance, and we can actually request them to explain and put it in a, if I use the word visual, where example of year 1, year 2, year 3, and then we'll share that communication so that it's clear, because I know that communication it's kind of not clear to most people, because I received a lot of queries on that. So what I would request our finance is to put it in year 1, year 2, year 3, depending on when did you receive, so that let's say on a column on the row on your right, on your left, it's got January, February, March, and then on top is that, so that it's clear, it's visible. So, but that's the explanation we have on regarding the retention fee as published. I think the communication was shared in May of this year. So, but I'll request further clarity to be shared as well with the colleagues so that it's clear to everyone that if it's a year of renewal, you're actually supposed to pay your retention fee as per the communication. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Dimagat. So the next question is from Shalise. Is a local ISO 13485 accreditation mandatory for local distributors when submitting renewal application if an international ISO 13485 was previously submitted, specifically for distributors that form part of a global corporate that holds an ISO certificate for the country that products are shipped from?
Yes, because we want to look at your quality management system for the person that is in the country that we have issued the license with. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the next one is Robin, still related to the retention fee, which we will share information on. Moving to the next one is Tula Shelembe. After payment of the collection fee, do we just collect at SAHPRA without any email inviting us to do so? So Tula, after we have received the proof of payment, we will share the soft copies, and then on the email that we share, you can collect on Wednesday without making any arrangements. So Wednesdays, because we are at the office between 9 and 3, you can collect, but outside the Wednesday collection, then you can make an arrangement with the admin screener that you're communicating with. I hope
Yeah. Yes, but can I say also add to that, you need to indicate that you're coming because we have to prepare the licenses and they have to be, they have the red embossment on them so that we know who's coming to collect and it's not distracting because it's a working day for the colleagues as well. So whoever is coming is not a walk-in, because if you walk in, you will not be allowed to come and it will be frustrating and we will indicate that we have told you to come on a Wednesday. So if you're coming on that Wednesday, you have to indicate that I'm coming so that we prepare the license, because then the license has to be printed out and then embossed, and that might take time. So you need to indicate your time on Wednesday that you're coming the site so that we have a list of everyone that's coming collecting that day. We prepare the register accordingly so that it doesn't take time, because then with the walk-ins, we will not be able to assist people that have indicated they are coming because it's only one person who's supporting on that day. Not everyone will be coming and issuing that. Thanks.
Okay, the next question from Natasha. We renewed our license 90 days before expiry as required. Therefore, we started the process in December 2022 because the license expired in March 2023. The new license was issued in December 2022. Now our license expires in December of 2027 instead of March 2028. Please advise.
Can I come in on that one?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I think we are not going to speak on specific companies, but as indicated, if you have queries, if this is a query and it's an error that is clear on your communication, please communicate with us immediately to say there's an error, and then what we do, we send as a correction, and then your license gets updated and signed again. And we apologize for that error as well. So if you may please resend share your communication with us. Puseletso indicated as the licensing manager. And what we'll do a correction, but it needs to go through the process of being signed by our CEO. So it's not going to be done immediately. And then once it's being signed, then we'll share it with you. Thank you.
Okay, this is a more finance question from Michelle. Will be able to get the credit if we pay retention fees, but the license was renewed in March 2023.
Sorry, I didn't get that word because I'm not sure where you're reading.
It's with Michelle. The question is, there will be a credit if the retention fee was paid for year 2023, while the renewal was actually done in March of 2023.
Yes, please, as I indicated, we'll put the finance email, and then once we receive that, as I indicated, if you share information with finance that you need a refund, they will send it to us. We check our records, and then if our records indicate that you are due for that, we will definitely approve it, and then finance will reimburse you. Thank you.
Okay, the next one. I think Kanye did respond to some of these questions. Okay, so the next one is from Simone. Why can NIC not be changed to date of issue anniversary for retention fees and new regulations on fees. Dr. Magaza, please take this one.
I'm not sure what can it not be changed. What is it that needs to be changed or of issue? Why can it not be changed to date of issue anniversary? So I think maybe Simone's questions are unclear. So if you may please clarify your questions, Simone, because I'm not too sure what is it. Why can't it not be changed to the date of issue anniversary for retention fee in new regulations of fees on fees? That's unclear for me. I'm sorry, I don't know how to respond to that. Thanks. We can continue.
Okay, there are no details of the person who caused it, but please share the guideline is not downloadable. Okay, the question is about left kits, needles, tubes. I think Kanye's already responded to the question, but it's more on sharing the guidelines instead of people downloading from our website. Maybe Ndogos can advise, but I've never come across this challenge where people are unable to download.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
So the question is, please share the guideline is not downloadable.
Which guideline is this one? Maybe I can navigate to it and show them how to download.
Okay, maybe just go through any guideline, because so far I've never had any challenge with people not being able to download any of the documents.
Okay, let me just try and navigate to the guidelines. Sorry, can you just skip this one? I seem to have technical problems. I'll get back to it.
Okay. So the question is, what happens when you reside outside Joburg or Pretoria? It's difficult to arrange a time for couriers, and I think it's related to the collection.
Okay, we are not sending any of the licenses to any of our site. So all the licenses are supposed to be collected at our Pretoria office. We have not made any arrangement with any company to collect their licenses, and also we don't have any arrangement to courier any licenses to Pretoria, Durban. So the colleagues need to make arrangement themselves to come and collect their licenses at the Pretoria head office in Pretoria. So if you want to make an arrangement with your courier, you need to communicate with them and they need to inform us, as I indicated, on when to collect. So no arrangement has been made for any licenses to be collected in any of our branches. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Dimagat. Okay, in terms of the collection, the arrangement, who to arrange with, I think we've covered. So the admin screeners who shared the notification letter, when you share the POP, that's the person you arrange with. You can copy MD admin at SAHPRA.org.za and myself, but then the person you should be arranging with is the one that's been communicating in terms of the payment. Okay, I think it's now 9:50. We'll move to the next agenda item, which is the amendment to existing application form. Then we will continue with the questions after. Okay, so the next item, which is the amendment to existing application forms, is just to explain that we are in the process of amending our existing application forms. As you're aware, we have two application forms, that's for manufacturer and distributor in Excel format, and then the wholesale one, which is currently PDF. So the amendments that we've taken as SAHPRA, all the application forms will now be available as an Excel application form. So now the wholesale as well will have an Excel application form. We have some areas of the application forms which have been removed. So the first one is the requirement to submit a compact disc. We've also removed any reference to NCC and replaced that with SAHPRA. The submission of the printed copies, as all submissions then should be done on email. The email address, as indicated, is mdadmin@sahpra.org.za. And no application should be submitted to personal emails, so that to avoid applications being lost or delayed in terms of action. Submission of hard copies, as indicated, we don't require that anymore. We've also updated the address to the current address, and also now the document number. The importance of having this is just for version control from our side. So any changes, then you will see, then there will be a change in the terms of the document number. Okay, this is a short one. I'll move to the next one, then we'll take more questions. This is the payment of applicable fees. So I think we're all aware there's 3 types of fees related to medical device establishment license. The first one is the application fee, which is paid at the time of submission. We have the license fee. So once the license has been approved, a license fee, as now indicated, will be applicable. And then the last one is the retention fee, which has been covered in length now by Dr. Dimakatso. Yes.
Sorry, can I disturb you? Guys, can you please press display settings, because we are seeing your upcoming slides and the notes. Sorry to disturb you. If you go to this, yeah. Sorry to disturb you. No, you can put it on the slide mode, and then I'll really advise you to go, because we see 3 things.
See 3 things. Okay. So.
Will share again? Yeah. Okay, will share your screen and I'll assist if I can. I'm still waiting for it to come.
Oh, okay. I see what is the problem. It's displaying on the other screen. Just give me a second to move it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, it was okay now.
It was
okay.
The first option, that's it, PR.
Yeah. Yes, it's fine. Thank you.
Okay. So the payment of applicable fees, as indicated, we have 3 types of fees applicable to medical device establishment license. That's the application fee. The second one is the license fee, and then the last one is the retention fee. So we've noted that most applicants do not pay the license fee and the retention fee, but instead use the notification letter as a form of evidence that the license has been issued. So this is just a reminder to applicants and license holders to make sure that all the fees are paid, because in terms of the publishing of the list on our website, any applicant or license holder with outstanding fees, whether the retention fees or license fee, will impact that company appearing on the list of license issue or on our database of licenses issued. So I think this just to note that as of 31 March 2022, the use of the acknowledgement letter or the notification letter used as a form of evidence of issue of a license is not permitted. Notification letters will not be used then as a form of proof of a medical device establishment. Okay, I think maybe before we move to the adverse events, then we can move back to taking the questions that are not answered in the chat. So I'm just trying to navigate where we stopped. And okay, so the next question is from Clive. How do we update our details on record at SAHPRA? Should we expect to receive a notification of pending license expiry 3 months prior to the notification period. So no, we do not send reminders for licenses that are due to expire. So it's the responsibility of the license holder to ensure that there is a renewal application submitted at least 90 days before the current one expires. Dr. Dimakatso, I don't know if you want to add on to this one.
Oh yeah, some of them we are assisting with response. Maybe look at them. I have responded, but you've also covered them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one is, I'm not sure, hopefully I don't butcher the name, is Mayet. A medical device is already registered with a local distributor. Stock will be moved to a wholesale. We, however, will be liaising with a registered wholesale instead of the local distributor. The distributor will, however, be responsible for all MAH duties. Please advise, is it necessary to apply for any license, as we are not the distributor, nor do we have a wholesale facility? So I'm just trying to go back. Dr. Magat, do you understand the question? I think this is an importer but does not want to, or not, they'd like to find out if they need to apply for a distributor's license.
Are you referring from, yeah, Mayet, may you, I'm not too sure if it's Mr. Ovis, but I'll just read the name, Mayet Zenet. I'm not too sure your question is clear. The medical device is already registered. We have not started doing medical device registration. Let me indicate that we are listing. So you are indicating, so that's what I'm saying, you're not mentioning yourself in the process, especially at the beginning. It says a medical device is already, okay, I'll indicate listed with a local distributor. And then stock will move to a wholesaler, which is a registered wholesaler instead of a local distributor. The distributor will, however, be responsible for the MAH duties. Please advise if it's necessary to apply for any license, as we are not the distributor, nor do we have a wholesaler. I don't understand what is your activity for me to respond. So there is a clear definition of a manufacturer, wholesaler, and a distributor. And based on the nature of your work that you're doing as an organization, please refer to the definition of a manufacturer and a wholesaler. As per the Act, Section 22H as well, and 22C and E. Where do your company falls? Because you indicated that whether you need to have a license as a distributor, but I'm not too sure what is your activity as an organization for us to respond. So perhaps you can write directly to me and we can have a call and discuss so that it's clear to us before we respond to the question. It's very ambiguous for me. So I will advise if you may please write directly to me, and if it's still unclear on an email, we can have a quick meeting by the end of this week just to clarify and have an understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dimakatso. Okay, I think the last one is just the 90-day prior to license expiry only apply to medical device license renewal. Yes, in this case, is that once you have an existing license, if you want to renew, then that's when the 90-day rule will apply. The other is the new application, so there's no reference to any other application, and the other one is an amendment. Okay, no, maybe, sorry about that. So an amendment, you cannot amend a license that's due to expire within 90 days because it won't give you enough time to apply for a renewal. So if you want to amend an existing license, you have to do it well in advance before the license is close to the expiry date, so that it gives us enough time also to renew the license. Okay, I think maybe Yvette, you can continue then we will take the questions after that. You can take over. or because we due to have a break at 10 past 11. So if you can just push the one on the reporting of adverse events, and then we'll take a break, then come back for questions.
Okay, all right, thanks, Puseletso. Can you please confirm if you can hear me before I start with the presentation?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thanks. So I'm going to share my screen now. Just give me a moment.
Have you managed to display Yvette?
No, not yet.
You want me to assist?
I think I got it now.
Okay.
Just to be in presentation mode, okay. Just go to my slide quickly. Okay, please confirm if you're able to see my
Yes.
slide. Okay. Good morning once again. So I'll be briefly speaking on the reporting of adverse events. As you're well aware that it is a requirement for licensed manufacturers and distributors to submit adverse events relating from the use of medical devices which are supplied in the country for vigilance and post-marketing purposes. So we are currently in the process of reviewing and developing new guidelines for vigilance of medical devices. What's going to happen is that there's going to be a separation between the adverse event reporting guidelines and the recalls and FSCAs, which are handled by our regulatory compliance unit. We are also in the process of developing an AE form, and we have noted that some of the applicants use the pharmacovigilance ADR form, which does not provide the required information. So the current guidelines actually do have the details to be included in an adverse event report. So if you are reporting an adverse event report, please ensure that you refer to the details to be included from the guideline. Also a reminder to reporters for timeframes for submission of adverse events, which is available on the guidelines as well. And to also mention that we have a dedicated email address for adverse events reporting, which is the mdvigilance@SAHPRA .org.za. So in a case of recalls and FCAs, this can be referred to our colleague. They haven't actually created a mailbox for recalls, but you can refer to Maputeo Slikani. I'll drop her email address on the chat. You can also CC the mdvigilance@sapra.org.za when you're submitting the recalls or the FSCAs. Yeah, I think I'm done. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Yvette. Please, if you can move to the next slide. Yvette.
Okay, let me share again. I think I just have to share again.
Yeah, I think it's fine that I think I can do that. Let me just see if I'm able to do it from my side. So it's moving again.
I think I got it now.
I got it. Thank you, Yvette. Okay, so on the slide, we just have the unit structure, and just to highlight the levels in terms of the communication. So the ones with the stars or asterisks is the licensing manager, the MCO, technical reviewers, admin screener, the group assistant. So these are the people in terms of the licensing process you can communicate with. So we'll start from the bottom, the admin screeners. Those are the people that will screen the applications as they come in. So anything related to the submitted application or acknowledgement letters will go to the admin screeners. But then once the application has moved to the technical review stage, then you'll have to communicate with the technical reviewers. It's important that if there is a letter, observation letter, or just an email, respond to that person. You can copy myself and MD admin, but always respond to the person that has sent the query so that we don't lose that process. And then queries related to medical device applications or any other query then can be directed to myself. Yvette, please move to the next slide. We just made a table just to advise who to contact and the contact details of the person. So in relation to new applications submission, all applications should be submitted or sent to MD admin. The same will apply to amendment or renewal application. But if the query is related to the license notification, you have to correspond with the person that sent the notification letter. That will be the administrative person, CC myself, and also CC MD admin. Anything related to the application, you will have to communicate with the same admin person that you were communicating with, and then copy the licensing manager. Or if it's already at the technical review stage, then you will send to the technical review person and then copy the licensing manager. General queries should be sent to MD inquiry, and then any queries related to retention fees, you can send to Constance. The email address will be on the upcoming slides, and anything related then to vigilance can be sent to mdvigilance@sahpra.org.za. The next one, so this is just the contact details. We will share the slides obviously with everyone. So we have our senior admin officer, who her name is June Ciarella. Her email address and telephone numbers are displayed. We have 2 admin screeners, so it's Leslie and Nubi. So you communicate with the individual that sent a query letter or an observation letter so that it's directed to the right person. The next one. The second slide on the contact details, we have our technically evaluators. Currently, we have 3. So we have Onyaho, Offense, and Yvette. The email address and contact details are displayed. So if you have any queries then related to compliance or port queries, those can be directed to Offense. The next slide, please. Okay, and then the licensing manager in this case is myself. My email address is there, as well as the telephone number. I've also included our other sub-unit, which is the registrations and clinical trials. The manager is Ms. Lydia Motlogelo. Her email address is there and telephone number. And the medical device registration officer in the same sub-unit, that's Kanyisile, and her email address and contact details are displayed. The next one, Yvette. Yvette, the next slide, please. Okay, the last slide, we have the contact details for our senior managers our senior manager. So should everything else fail and you're not getting any joy from the admin technical reviewers, myself, then you can contact our senior manager. That's Dr. Dimakatso Matibe. Her email address and telephone number is there. And we have Mapule, who's the office assistant to the senior manager. You can copy her on the email as well. Her email address is there. And then we have the group assistant, and that's the person that I mentioned before in relation to the retention fee. That's Constance. Her email address is there and telephone number as well. I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. So at it's 10:12. Maybe we can just take a 10-minute break, then we'll come back and take questions and comments from everyone. Thank you. If we can be back by 10:22. Okay, can I confirm that everyone is back? I see some thumbs up. So before we Ntokozo opens up for questions, we'll just address the questions on the chat. Okay, I think it's more related to communication. There's someone, I think it's Hey, who said the email address for Mapule, yes, we've corrected, sorry, that space is now gone. And then someone commented Mapule and Dr. Dimaga so that they do respond. So I hope it will be the same for everyone. But in case of the admin screeners and just for those, we've realized that there's some delayed communication, especially where we were not copied on the email. The colleague has been unwell for almost a month now, so there's a bit of a delay in terms of communication, but we'll try and do better. Just maybe copy us on the communication so that we're able to assist while he's not available. And also there is a question that's for you before you open up. Claire, I just want to go back and see. Okay, I will look for it, Ntokozo, but for now, then you can open up and then maybe you will just manage the questions for us.
Yeah, okay. So I'll only unmute the people that have their hands up so that we can have order.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's better if we do it that way. So if your hand is up, then I'll mute for you. I'll unmute for you. And once you're done, I'll put you back as an attendee. So we've got Itumeleng and Jean. I'll unmute those people.
Okay, thanks. Itumeleng, can go ahead.
So Itumeleng and Jean, you both have the ability to unmute your mics now. Okay. So if you have a question, you can just unmute and go ahead. Okay, Jean has taken their hand down. So it's only Itumeleng.
You can go ahead. Maybe it's an old hand. We'll go back to the chat. I'm not seeing any more hands except for Itumeleng.
Let me lower the hand then.
Okay. Yeah, just navigating the questions that have not been responded to. Okay, this is addressed to Lydia and Kanye. Can we get feedback on the estimated date of publication of the medical devices regulation? If you can come in, either Lydia or Kanye.
Good morning, everyone. In terms of regulations that are with NDOH and the timeline, we cannot estimate the timeline because there is a process that NDOH is following that we have no control over. Thank you.
Thanks, Lydia. Because I think there is a hand, and that's from Frangelina.
Yes, I've enabled their mics. You can unmute Frangelina.
Hi, good morning, and thanks for the presentation. I've been sending a question, and I don't know whether it hasn't been, but I wanted to find out, there is an exemption given to operators that deal with medical device class A. I just wanted to find out if there's provisional, indefinite, or just the permanent exemption. Is it something that's going to change? That's one. And the second one is the listing. Should that, when you do the listing, should you do it in families, or do you have to include all the SKUs from the business, because we're getting different views in that instance? Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Makatsi, if you can support on the Class A one.
Okay, I have responded on the.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to see, because you've asked it twice already, and I've responded. We are currently working with our legal expert committee to finalize an exemption for a specific group of medical devices that will be exempted from medical device establishment, and then we need to send it to the National Department of Health to gazette it, that exemption. So then if we have requested an Section 36 exemption based on the response from the Minister's office, then if it's agreeable, then those specific devices will be then exempted from having an establishment license. Thank you. So hence I said I've responded to some of the many colleagues can quickly check those that I've responded, but the ones, and then there was a question, I think that the technical team can please support on the second question on the listing. But what I will indicate is that since we have not started doing product registration, I'll advise that you list all your product in case it's blocked at the port of entry. We are able to support our regulatory compliance to indicate that you have listed your product. So I think the registration might be different, that when you start doing product registration, then they will be grouped according to the family. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. I think on the second one, yeah, on Yahoo, if I do offense, I can support. Thank you. On Yahoo, can you just respond to the one of the listing, please?
Excellent. So thank you. I'm in agreement with what Dr. Matiwe has mentioned. It is advisable to list all the products in case there's queries at the port of entry for import items. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to the next question. It says, in terms of the licensed product list notification, should these be submitted to SAHPRA with every change, or can they be grouped and submitted once monthly, e.g. updates now with the EU regulation changes affecting CE certificate numbers? Now if you can respond to that as well, please.
There is a section on the Act that does state that any changes made, the authority should be notified. I'm not sure whether it will be acceptable for us to advise when they should, but any change should be notified almost immediately by the license holder. Thank you. But the other colleagues can support.
Thanks, Anya. Okay, so the next question is, thank you all for the great presentations and clarifications provided. Just a quick question about new regulation and especially regarding labeling requirement. I understood that the reason for asking product registration number and information of the license holder on the label is mainly related to the need of easier access of the end user to the local representative and reporting complaints and adverse events or confirm the registration of the product. This is indeed a real need to facilitate communication and prevent risk of counterfeit and parallel import as well for our patient safety. However, as end users used to throw product packaging leading to risk of losing such critical information, I would rather see such important information available in a delivery note and or invoice. Any thoughts on this? Dr. Dimakatsi, can you assist on this one? Or maybe later.
I thought Lydia's got her hand up. That's why I'm quiet.
Oh, Lydia can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Dr. D, you can go ahead. I don't have my hand up. I think maybe there's something functioning from your side.
Okay, I think I will try and answer this to my best knowledge. However, the end user, I would rather see such information available in the delivery notes. I think let's go back to your whoever it is, because it's an unknown user, so I can't respond to the person directly. The delivery notes, you have your quality management system that will assist you with traceability of the products. And also when we're looking at, because the end user in some instances will not have an access to the invoices as well as the delivery notes, because the end user might be somebody who buys a product from the market. So hence it has to be on the product label that they are able to go back. So if I'm buying something from one of the retail shop, a medical device, I will not be able to have access to the invoices. So hence the product label is very important. And if the organization for traceability purposes, they're using an invoice or a delivery note, then that is good, because they will have indicated on their system that that's how they further trace the product into the market. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Rimagat. Just the one from, I think, Liz. Where can I find an updated list of GMD and code? Liz, for this one, you have to consult the GMD and code agency. I think you need to register to be able to have that access. Okay, and because I think there's a hand.
Go ahead, Colin. Colin, you can unmute.
So my question is, with regards to license amendments and notifications, you said that an amendment is only needed for if there's something on the actual license that needs to be changed, and a notification has to be given if there's something else that gets changed, like a addition of a GMDN code or a product update for a GMDN code. Is that correct?
Sorry, Colin, I didn't get the last part. I was answering the, maybe Pusalazi can assist me there.
Oh,
Was it
yes.
me who didn't?
No, I did get it. So it's just a notification. It's just if there's no change, only an addition of a GMDN code. You're right, Colin, but if that's not going to affect any of the classification, then yes, it will be a notification.
Yeah, and then how do we go about issuing you a notification, or is it just something we must keep on our side?
No, you do send a notification to us with the change, and then we will send you a form of confirmation that we have received and noted the notification.
Okay, is there a specified form?
Colin, there is a, sorry, there is a guideline that you have on the system of called amendment that includes the notification. You just send us an email to indicate that you're adding this, and if you're adding that, you just include your form. So
Okay,
please refer
perfect.
to the guideline. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Ntokozo, I see there's more hands.
Go ahead, Nora.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a quick question regarding authorized representatives. The guideline is not so specific on this. I wanted to find out if you have a company with multiple sites in different regions, is it allowed for you to have one authorized representative, maybe in head office, but with quality people at different regions, or where you delegate the quality responsibility to specific people who are located in different regions. But at the end of the day, if you have one authorized rep for all of those satellite offices, with a representative, a quality representative on site, is that allowed? The guidelines are not specific on this one.
Sorry, Nora, I'll give this to my technical team. Maybe Yvette, if you can assist with this one. Hi, Onya, if you can assist Yvette, please.
So before I answer, was the question on whether an authorized representative can represent different sites?
Yes.
That's
So
what
one
it is.
authorized rep, one company, but different regional offices.
I would say no. The authorized representative is site specific. So if our regulatory compliance team were to visit the site, the authorized representative should be found at that site where where the address is specified on the license. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Onyema. Thank you, Nora. I think there's another question from Simone. You can come in.
Morning, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for the presentations. I just want to clarify what Colin was saying. When there is a notification, you would need to update the Excel spreadsheet with the new GMDN number, and then you would give it a new date. And together with a covering letter of notification, you send that through to the SAHPRA MD admin address, together with a signed copy of that page in the Excel spreadsheets, so that your Excel spreadsheet is then updated, and that is what you submit to SAHPRA. And then I have a second comment to make, is that for a license, you get the license in the context of a legal or natural entity. So therefore, your authorized rep is linked to your CIPC company that is licensed, and your branches would then be navigated through the quality management system for the management of any quality or regulatory attributes through the legal entity authorized rep. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Can I confirm if there's another? Oh, your hand is down now. Okay, I'm just going to navigate now the chat to see if there's any more questions on the chat. I think all have been responded to, but if we have missed any of the questions, then you can just raise your hand and we'll take that question should we have missed any of the questions on the chat. Thank you. Okay, I am not seeing any hands. I'm also not seeing any additional questions. Okay, nothing on my side. So with the thumbs up, oh no, there is a question, and this is from Rudy. Because if you can, okay, yes, Rudy, can go ahead.
Hi, morning. I just wanted to know if you guys can give us a bit more clarity on the requirements for EIFU, because for me, the regulation is not too clear on this.
I'm really sorry, I didn't get that. I think there was some background noise. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, can you hear me now better?
Yes, it's much better now.
Yeah, I just need to understand a bit more, or can you guys give me more clarity on the requirements for EIFU? As for me, the regulation is not too clear on this.
Sorry, I think maybe it's a break for me, but Dr. Limagat, if you did manage to hear the question, if you can support, please.
I think if you may please repeat, I am also losing Rudy from my side, especially towards the end. If you may please repeat, I also didn't get it.
Yeah, certainly. Can you hear me?
You're too soft, but maybe I'll try to listen.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to know the clarity on the, well, I need some more clarity on the requirements for EIFU. As for me, the regulation is not too clear.
Oh, okay. All right. Now it's clear. Okay. So if you look at the EIFU, it's not prescriptive. I mean, sorry, the regulation, it's not prescriptive on the EIFU, but we would like to prefer the paper IFU because of the reality that we are faced in our country with the EIFU. Because if we are only going to allow EIFU, that means in cases where in rural areas, for example, or in a case where we do not have access to our system, then they cannot be accessed. So we have never said no to EIFU before. So if you want to use but preferably we prefer the manual one, the paper one, based on the reality that we're facing on the ground in our country. Thank you. I hope I've answered you really.
Perfect, thank you. I will then reach out to the necessary people on our side to get more in contact with you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Limagat. Thank you, Rudy. Okay. I don't see any more questions. Can I confirm that we are all happy, and any specific queries then will be directed to the office, and then we will respond to them. Okay, so there is a question that just came in. Morning, from a wholesaler perspective, what is the due date for suppliers listing with us to apply for a license? There's a lot of uncertainty about the licensing cutoff. And this is Lara. Lara, is this in relation to a renewal application? Okay, there is a question we're waiting to confirm with Lara from Fair Lady. If you can give access into Tokoza. You can go ahead. You have the option to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, thanks. This is Yassina Biladi. Now it's working. Thanks a lot for the presentation and the great, clarification. Just back to one question, which was related to the EIFU. I understood that, okay, paper version is preferable due to technical, etc. And we want to make sure that the information are available for the end user. So I wrote the question in the chat. Would it be possible to go with electronic version of IFU and send a paper version upon request by the end user? Would this format works?
Okay, can I come in, or would you like to ask Simone to come in?
I see Simone did respond. Yes, you can come in, Simone.
Okay, just to maybe help along here. With electronic, remember that your technical documentation, when we have product registration, like you do in the EU, your technical documentation will already have a documented IFU, and you translate that IFU into your e-platform, and that is where the approval comes in. So like your software that you have at the moment, especially with wearables, all of those IFUs are obviously in an electronic format, and that has been already approved by SAHPRA. So yes, there is a recognition that in some instances there is an electronic IFU. I also want to remind people that with some devices, you will have symbology and instructions on your packaging like you would, for example, for an elastic adhesive bandage that would not have a paper IFU accompanying the device. So, and I'm sure SAHPRA are cognitive of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simone. Okay, just checking for any additional question. Okay, I think it's just a follow-up. You can come in, LID.
Yeah, thank you. So it's taking time to be able to unmute myself. Thanks a lot. So EIFU is possible, correct? Just to make sure my understanding.
No, can I come in, please, Nsina? We indicated
Yes,
that
please. Thank you.
I think we have responded that you've asked the question of if you send the IFU to the end user. The most important is for the end user to be able to consult or communicate with the company in case of any whether it's complained or they are seeking clarity. Whether it's not only yes. So that's what we are saying, that they must have access, but we have never said no to the, if you want to use an as an extra EIFU, we are not saying no to that. But please, we need to also take into account the end users, because end users are different. We have healthcare professionals, we have technical people in the lab that are end user, and we have an individual who doesn't have any medical background as an end user. So when we are reviewing and writing regulations, we're not only looking at the labs, we're looking at everyone who's an end user.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, thank you.
No, thanks. No, clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dimagat. I believe all the questions on the chat have been responded to, and if we don't have any hands, can I propose that we close the meeting? But we still have time if there are more questions, but if not, then we can close the session. And just maybe in preparation of our next engagement, we will send in advance, months in advance, just an email requesting any burning areas or burning issues that you'd like us to cover at the next stakeholder engagement, so that we prepare accordingly as well. Okay. No hands, no comments. It's 10:51. Can I propose that we close the meeting? Okay. Dr. Dimagat, if you can close for us, I think we are okay.
Thank you very much, for the colleagues for preparing this engagement, and as indicated by Biseletso, we will have more of the engagement, and I think one day we'll also do a face-to-face. Very soon we'll speak that as well in time, where we do a face-to-face meeting with the industry so that they can meet the team as well in person. And also, we'll also appreciate any other areas that the colleagues will require clarity in time, so that when we prepare, we are also trying to work together with you to answer some of the questions that you have. But I would like to thank everyone that have taken their time out to join this communication with us. And also thanks to, as indicated to yourself, Kusele, on your team for preparing this for the industry. And we're looking forward to more of the future engagement. So thank you very much, everyone on the call. Thanks to our communication for arranging this this call for us. And yeah, that will be all from my side, colleagues. Thank you very much. And looking forward to more engagement in the future. Over back to you, Kusele. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dimakato. Thank you to our stakeholders and the team. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye. And thank you to Ntokozo, obviously. Sorry, I forgot.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
I'm Matapeng and bye-bye. I see you have a
Bye, Matapeng. Yes.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.